I'm going to be going in with my primer using the base tape. This is like well needed. My last chemo treatment really drug me to the ground. I don't know what the fuck went on, but I mean, I do know. Basically, my hospital had a shortage of one of the chemotherapy drugs that I needed, which was vincristine. So they actually had to get it from Stanford and ship it to my hospital just so I can get it. I was so sick. I can't believe how sick I was. My side effects are usually, I can handle them pretty well. I mean, I have Zofran for nausea, and I take Claritin, which sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't, for my bone pain for my Nestula shot. And then I also have some CBD products that have really been helping me for my bone pain. So usually I have a pretty good handle on some of my side effects. Ooh, not this last week. Despite going through hell last week, I'm actually having okay skin. I have this one blemish right here that's kind of scarred. That's just been happening recently. I think it's because of the chemo. If I do get a pimple and I break out, even if I don't pick it, it tends to scar. Like I have this one. This is the one I first got when I first started treatment, and it's starting to go away, but not quite. I'm not going to do very much spot concealing. I'm actually just going to go in with my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, and I'm just going to take the very little bit of it. Oh, there's coat hairs everywhere. And I'm just going to apply just a little bit under my eyes because I do have some really dark circles going on. Less is definitely more, at least with my skin. And then I'm going in with my sponge. I'm going to lightly tap that out, just because if I put too much of the under eye correcting, it will crease on me. For other people, it doesn't seem to crease on them too bad, but for me, if I put too much, it will just crease. My eyelashes are falling out, and sometimes they go in my eyes. I'm gonna go in with my Born This Way sculpting concealer, and I'm just gonna put one dot right here. Should I conceal it? Okay, well, just like the tiniest right there. And then I'm just going to blend that out. If you can, try to find a concealer that's pretty close to your skin tone. I'm having a little hard time with that right now because my cheeks are getting so pink from the steroids, but do the best you can. Try to find a concealer that's like almost your skin tone. And if you can't find a concealer, you can always go in foundation. Just go in really light. I'm bringing whatever excess I have from underneath my eyes and trying to bring it on my eyelids. Usually I would put more concealer on my eyelids just so I have a more of like a blank canvas for my eyeshadow. But because we're going with such a minimal makeup look today, I really don't mind if some of my veins poke through, because that's just going to make it look more natural and blend seamlessly in a way, like with your whole face. Chemo brain is not working with me today. I'm going to sound all kinds of dumb, but just bear with me. I'm just going to lightly set that concealer. I'm going to be going in with my Cover FX translucent powder. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and like very little, like, oh, that would be me too much. Tap off the excess and just lightly powder underneath my eyes and on top, just so I don't get any creasing. Okay, so I just did my brows off camera. They're looking a little rough. I just went in with my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Medium Brown. So for this eye look, I'm going to be using an orange shade. If you don't want to use orange, you don't have to. Another good way to do it is with just bronzer. Okay, so for this eye look, I'm actually just going to be going in with an orange shade. If you want and you don't want to use an orange, you can actually just go in with a bronzer. But I'm going to be going with the orange shade. You don't have to use this orange shade, but I'm going to be going in with burnt orange. You don't have to use this if you want. Like, there's no use for buying a whole palette just to create such a simple eye look. Another good single shade is, I believe it's Cream Soda, Orange Soda from Anastasia. That's, you can buy as a single, or just any orangey shade that you have. I feel like orange is such a good color. It's so universal for blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes. I think it looks great with everyone. So I'm going to take that burnt orange shade, and I'm just going to blend that out This is a little bit more of a vibrant orange. If you use orange soda, it's going to be a lot more muted, or if you decide to go in with just a bronzer, it'll be a lot more muted. But I think just taking a simple orange shadow like this and blending it out is so easy and effortless, but it looks like you really put a lot of hard work into it. I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and I'm literally just going to buff that out. If you wanted to deepen this up, you can definitely take your bronzer and add it right here to the outer corners and then blend it up through the crease. Alright, now I'm going to take a little pencil brush and I'm just going to lightly dip into that and I'm just going to buff it out along my lower lash line. Alright, and now I'm going to apply mascara. I'm going to do mascara today, even though my eyelashes are starting to really thin out. If you want, you can toss on a pair of like really faint, dainty lashes and they look really pretty, but I'm just going to go with mascara. Alright, the eyes are done. Like I said earlier, I feel like orange is such a good color because it makes almost every single eye color pop, and you can do it so subtly, but it still brings a lot to the eyes. If you ever wanted to take this up a notch, it'd be really easy to go in with a brown, bronzy eyeshadow and just pat it on top, or even just a highlighter that you're using for your cheeks, just pat it on top and it'll give it a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of something. Or even just a matte brown shadow. If you just put a matte brown shadow all over your lid and just blend it up into that orange, easily like a more daytime, nighttime appropriate look. I'm going to be going in with my Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. And I'm going in with the shade Sunlight. If you want, you can just go in with bronzer, but I really like the way this looks, especially with the summer heat. And then I just take my Real Technique sponge and first I kind of push it up. I like to push that into my hairline a little bit because since I don't really have hair and I have a cap on whenever I go out in the sun, the top of my head is very fair. So if I blend it in a little bit like this, it looks a little bit more natural, especially if I end up putting a hat on or a wig on, then it blends more seamlessly. Alright, to blend that out a little bit, I just take my sponge and I like to kind of push it up while still pushing on it. To blend it up, that way it doesn't sink down. For highlight, I'm not going in with my Artist Couture. I'm actually going in with the Becca Moonstone. This is a little bit more of a radiant, natural glow from within. Coat of bean. For gloss, I'm actually going to be going in with this Dose of Colors and Save the Date. It has a little bit of a peachy, orangey undertone to it. I think it'll go really complimentary with the eyes. Alright you guys, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys like this. This is one of my favorite looks to do. I love orange. I love orange eyeshadow on people, and I think it's really wearable. And I think sometimes we see orange eyeshadow and we think it's not wearable for everyday look, but I think if you do it just so subtly, just blown out in the crease, it's so pretty. And then if you ever want to amp it up, it's so easy to add a brown eyeshadow, whether it's matte or shimmery, or even if you want to go crazy with it, put a blue, anything you want. It's so easy to manipulate, but it's also so easy easy to tone down, and it still gives you, like, you put in like so much effort into your eyeshadow that day when it's really just one color. And also, if you don't want to use orange eyeshadow and you feel like it's really not your color, don't worry about it. You can always go with your bronzer. I do that too, and I love doing that as well. Thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to this video if you like it, and let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see. Can't wait to see you guys soon.